Welcome back, everybody. Today we're diving into Proverbs.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, chapters 16 through 22.
Okay.
And we're working from some excerpts that you sent over called Proverbs 16:22, Wisdom for a Just and Righteous Life.
Yeah.
And it really just seemed perfect.
Yeah.
Proverbs, it's all about wisdom and humility, justice, righteous living.
Timeless stuff.
It is. And it's so interesting how these Proverbs are written, almost like advice from a wise mentor.
Right.
Guiding us through life.
I think that's a great way to think about it. And actually, these chapters are really practical.
Okay.
They give insights into navigating relationships, how to make good decisions, and how to build character.
Which we can all use a little bit of help with.
For sure. Even thousands of years later, they still apply.
They do. Okay, well, let's jump right in then.
Sounds good.
So Proverbs 16.1 talks about God's role in our plans.
Okay.
Even when things don't go as expected.
Right.
It's like we make our plans, but ultimately God is guiding things.
Yeah.
Do you think that takes away our agency, or does it encourage us to plan differently?
I think it's more of a balance. We still have a role to play in making plans and setting goals, but we also have to be open to things not going exactly how we envisioned.
So it's not about giving up control entirely.
No, not at all. It's more about being flexible, like a sailor setting a course, but being prepared to adjust for the wind.
I like that analogy.
Thanks. We make choices, but we're also invited to trust that there's something bigger at work.
That makes me think about all the times when I was so set on a particular outcome, and then things went in a total different direction. Maybe those detours, those unexpected turns, were actually leading me somewhere better.
Possibly. It's hard to know in the moment, right?
Right. And this leads us to Proverbs 16.1e, the classic warning about pride.
Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
Such a powerful proverb, and a stark reminder in a world that's obsessed with self-promotion.
Totally.
It's not about denying our accomplishments, is it?
No, of course not.
It's more about keeping things in perspective, right?
Exactly. How do we celebrate our achievements without letting them go to our heads?
Especially on social media, where everyone's trying to curate this perfect image.
Oh, that's such a good point. It's all about grounding ourselves, you know? Remembering that our achievements are often built on the support of others or opportunities that we didn't necessarily create ourselves.
Humility isn't about putting ourselves down.
Right. It's recognizing that we're part of a larger system.
Which is so countercultural these days.
It is. Everyone's supposed to be their own brand, shouting their accomplishments from the rooftops.
Right. But Proverbs offers a different path. A path that focuses on inner character rather than outward appearances.
And that ties into Proverbs 16.24, which talks about the power of words.
Oh, yeah. Pleasant words are as a honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones.
Such a beautiful image, right?
It is. It makes you think about how a harsh word can linger for days.
Absolutely.
But a kind word can completely shift someone's mood.
And those effects are even more amplified in the digital age.
That's true.
A careless comment online can spiral out of control so quickly.
It's a reminder to be intentional with our words.
Yes, recognizing their power to heal or to harm.
It's more than just avoiding gossip or negativity, though, right? It's about actively using our words to build others up, to offer genuine support and encouragement.
Absolutely. How can we put this into practice in our daily lives?
Yeah, that's the big question. I mean, there's the classic think before you speak advice.
True, but sometimes that's easier said than done.
Okay, well, moving on, we see this theme of friendship highlighted in Proverbs 17.1c.
A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
It seems to be saying that true friendship goes beyond the surface level. It's about being there for each other even when things get tough.
Absolutely. It's easy to be a friend when life is good.
Right.
But true friendship is forged in those difficult moments.
Offering support without judgment.
Exactly, or trying to fix everything.
That reminds me of a time when
Oh, please tell me.
I was going through a really rough patch a few years back, and I had this friend who just showed up. They didn't offer platitudes or try to solve my problem.
They just listened.
Yeah, they just offered encouragement and were a constant presence.
That's what true friendship is all about.
It made a world of difference.
Being that kind of friend for others, cultivating relationships built on trust and empathy.
Being present through the ups and downs.
That's where true connection lies.
It takes courage, though.
It does.
To be that vulnerable and supportive.
Yeah.
To admit we don't have all the answers, but we can offer companionship through the storm.
So true. And speaking of honesty and courage,
Yeah.
we come to Proverbs 18.21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Wow, that's powerful.
It really emphasizes the weight our words carry.
It's not just about avoiding harmful gossip. It's about using our words to build up, to inspire, to speak truth with compassion.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It is, but it's also empowering. We have the ability to shape our own realities.
And the experiences of those around us.
Through our words.
Exactly. Proverbs is urging us to use this incredible tool of language wisely.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit.
Okay.
Proverbs 19.1 puts a spotlight on integrity.
Hmm.
Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. It seems to be saying that integrity, even in the face of hardship, is more valuable than wealth gained dishonestly.
It really challenges our modern definition of success, doesn't it?
It does. It's not just about material wealth,
Right.
but about aligning our actions with our values, even when it's difficult.
It's about character.
Yes, and that's such a powerful message, especially in a culture that often glorifies wealth and status regardless of how they were acquired.
True wealth lies in our character, in the consistency of our actions, not just our bank account.
Exactly. And Proverbs 19.21 kind of reinforces this idea
Yeah.
by reminding us that even the best laid plans can go awry.
True.
Ultimately, aligning ourselves with a higher purpose is what brings lasting fulfillment.
It's a call to humility, recognizing that we don't have all the answers and seeking guidance from something beyond our limited human understanding.
Wow. That's a lot to unpack from just these first few chapters.
I know, right?
And there's so much more to explore.
Can't wait.
But before we dive into Proverbs 20,
Great.
let's pause here for a moment.
Okay.
We'll be right back to continue our journey through these timeless principles. Okay, so we're back and ready to dive into Proverbs 20.
All right, let's do it.
It seems to shift gears a little bit.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, it focuses more on diligence and honesty.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Like Proverbs 20.4.
What does it say?
The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing.
Wow, so it's like the consequences of laziness.
Yeah, using that imagery of a sluggard who doesn't prepare for the future.
It's like we reap what we sow.
Exactly.
Not just in farming, but in all areas of life.
Right. If we want to see abundance and fulfillment, we have to put in the work.
Cultivate our dreams, keep going even when it's hard.
And building on that idea of reaping what we sow, Proverbs 20.7 takes it a step further.
How so?
It talks about the legacy of integrity.
Okay.
The just man walketh in his integrity. His children are blessed after him.
So it's saying that our choices have a ripple effect, impacting not just us, but future generations.
It makes you think about the kind of legacy we're creating.
Not just for ourselves, but for those who come after us.
Exactly. And this call to live justly, to consider the well-being of others, is echoed in Proverbs 21.3.
What does that one say?
To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice.
That's a powerful statement.
It is.
It seems to be saying that outward displays of religion are meaningless.
If they're not accompanied by genuine action.
Right. Treating others fairly, advocating for what's right.
True faith is lived out, not just performed.
It's about aligning our actions with our beliefs, working for justice and compassion in the world.
Exactly. Actions speak louder than words, even in matters of faith.
Now, Proverbs 21.31 brings us back to that theme of humility.
Okay, how so?
The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord.
So while preparation and planning are important,
Yes.
we also have to acknowledge that there are forces at play beyond our control.
We do our part.
But we also recognize a higher power is at work.
That's surrender again, that trust in something bigger than ourselves.
It's a tough balance to strike.
It is striving for excellence, while also letting go of the need to control the outcome.
But sometimes it's in that surrender that we find true peace and freedom.
And this brings us to Proverbs 22,
Lots of good stuff in there.
packed with wisdom on raising children and navigating relationships.
Yeah, lots to unpack.
Proverbs 22.6 is a well-known one.
Oh, yeah. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
It's sparked a lot of debate over the years. How do you interpret that in the context of modern parenting?
Well, I see it as a principle rather than a guarantee.
Okay.
It emphasizes the importance of consistent guidance discipline, rooted in love, and most importantly, modeling the behavior we want to see.
It's about creating a foundation of values, but also recognizing that children are individuals.
Right. They'll ultimately make their own choices.
And speaking of choices, Proverbs 22.1 delivers a powerful message about the value of a good reputation.
What does it say?
A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
It's like saying that character, integrity, how we treat others, those things matter more than any amount of wealth.
It's a timeless message, but even more relevant today when there's so much emphasis on image and social status.
Our online personas, our social media presence, it all contributes to the legacy we're building.
Proverbs challenges us to be mindful of that, to make choices that align with our values, and to cultivate a reputation that reflects our best selves.
And continuing in Proverbs 22, we encounter another gem in verse 4. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life.
Wow, that ties in so beautifully with everything we've been discussing.
Right. It brings us back to humility, recognizing a power greater than our sins, and understanding that true wealth isn't about material possessions,
But about the richness of our character and our connection to something beyond ourselves.
It's like a culmination of the wisdom we've been unpacking from these chapters.
There's one more verse in Proverbs 22 that I'd love to get your take on.
Okay, shoot.
Proverbs 22.29.
Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men.
So it's saying that hard work, dedication, and excellence can open doors.
Yeah, they lead to a life of purpose and influence.
Our efforts, when guided by integrity and a commitment to doing our best, can make a real difference in the world.
It's inspiring to think that even the smallest actions can have a ripple effect.
It challenges us to bring our best selves to everything we do, to approach our work with passion and purpose.
Knowing that our efforts matter.
This has been such a rich and insightful journey through these proverbs.
I agree.
It's amazing how relevant they still are.
Timeless wisdom, for sure.
Before we move on to the outro,
Yeah.
is there anything else that particularly struck you from these chapters?
Honestly, what really stands out to me is just how relevant these proverbs are to our lives today.
I know, it's incredible, right?
It's like they offer this blueprint for a life of meaning and purpose.
And integrity.
Exactly, no matter what stage of life you're in.
It's amazing.
And I find it so fascinating how these proverbs weave together all these different themes, humility and diligence, justice and kindness and integrity and generosity.
It's true. It's like they're all interconnected.
They are, and it highlights how much of an impact these virtues have on our lives.
And the lives of those around us.
Right, it's not just about us.
It's like they're reminding us that true wisdom isn't just about acquiring knowledge.
Right.
It's about integrating these principles into our daily lives.
Letting them shape our thoughts, words, and actions.
Exactly.
It's about embodying these virtues, not just understanding them intellectually.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Proverbs 16:22,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways for our listener?
Well, first and foremost, I think these chapters highlight the importance of humility. Recognizing that we don't have all the answers, being open to learning from others.
And acknowledging that there's something greater than ourselves at work.
Exactly.
I love that. It's about approaching life with a sense of wonder and curiosity.
Yes.
A willingness to learn and grow.
And recognizing that we're all part of something much bigger than ourselves.
Absolutely.
What else? Secondly, I think these proverbs challenge us to prioritize integrity in everything we do.
Okay.
Making choices that align with our values.
Being honest and trustworthy.
Building a reputation that reflects our commitment to ethical living.
Walking the talk, making sure our actions match our words.
Exactly.
And lastly, I think these chapters encourage us to use our words carefully.
Yes.
Speaking with kindness and compassion.
Yeah.
Offering encouragement and support.
And recognizing the power our words have to build up or tear down.
They really can make a difference.
They do.
This has been such an incredible exploration of these timeless proverbs.
I agree.
But before we say goodbye, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought-provoking question.
Oh, I like this.
If you were to write your own proverb,
Okay.
based on everything we've talked about today, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. I think I'd say walk humbly, act with integrity, and let your words be a source of life.
That's beautiful. I love it. It perfectly captures the essence of what we've explored today.
Thanks.
And with that, we'll bring this deep dive to a close. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Book of Proverbs. We hope you feel inspired to apply these timeless principles to your own life and to keep seeking wisdom in all that you do. Until